Hello YouTube and welcome back to Kanto Weekly Show. We are on week number 11 in our PIDA week back on the channel. If you missed out on the last videos that went up the rest of this week, I highly recommend you go back and check those out because we've had two Kanto Weekly shows, we've had one of my games, and now we're back with another Kanto Weekly show, week number 11. We're trying to catch up, we really are, because obviously, catchphrase on this channel, the stats don't lie. You guys seem to love these Kanto Weekly shows, so we're going to just keep, pushing them out until you get bored of them, and then we'll try something else, that's how it works. So anyway, we're into week number 11, and obviously we're getting towards the later end of the season. So, trades. 2 trades made this week, both by the Black Sea Curums, who are currently pushing for that top place spot in Kanto to get easier. It's not like easier because all the top 4 right now are good battlers, so it's not easier, but it's like, I don't know, doesn't matter, they're at the top of the table. But they've made 2 trades this week, trading with the first trade, which was trading their Clefable for Magina with the Mediterranean Quagseyes. Now, obviously, the Mediterranean Quagseyes are a new team coach taken over from the Green and Guzzlords, and obviously, because he joined so late, he had to work with what he had. So, the only trades he had available were 1 free agent, 2 into coach. I think Green and Guzzlord already used his free agent trade to get Espy on way back when, like week 3 or week 4 or something. So he only had 2 into coach trades left, and he wanted some bulk on his team because he didn't really have bulk on his team. So he said, right, Clefable's an option for me. Zombie, do you want Magina? And I'm like, okay, it's good. This is like fantastic trade because Magina's a broken ass mom, and Clefable's a bulky gal. So pros and cons to both mons. Obviously, I've used Magina before, and it was performed terribly for me. I don't know why. I just don't like using Magina. So in my eyes, I prefer Clefable over Magina. But everyone else is like just going Magina mad. When I used it, either I used it wrong or it wasn't my kind of mon. I want to say it's not my kind of mon. So I didn't like it. But the other trade as well the Black Sea Curums made were with the Boston Cyndaquils, who traded Xerkictree for Raikou. Now, obviously, Raikou is more of a... I've not really used Raikou, so I don't know how good it is. I know it's goodish mon, because in most leagues, normal leagues, shall I say, it's like tier 2 or something like that. So it can't be a bad mon. But I've used Xerkictree before. I like using Xerkictree. It's the Hypnosis. It's got really high special attack. It's like Blacephalon, but an electric type, but not as fast. If you get the pitch, it's slightly more bulky than Blacephalon, but it's got the same stupid high special attack set, but it's not as fast. I think Blacephalon's 109, and I think Xerkictree is like base 80 or base 90. So it's a similar one to what I would usually use. So I'm leaning towards Xerkictree being the better option of those 2, but both good trades. Hopefully they come in clutch in this week of games, week 11 in Kanto, PIDA Kanto Division. Now, also to mention before we actually get into the games, game 1 was between the Puro Pidgeot and the Sydney Shamans. Unfortunately, that was a forfeit win because Sydney Shamans were busy or they just didn't respond. I can't remember because this was like 4 weeks ago, and my brain is bad enough at the best of times. So, yeah, the Puro Pidgeot picked up a forfeit win, 3-0 win, helping them secure Green the 4th place position for this week. So they're guaranteed playoff spots by the end of this week, so it's good for them. So we move on into our first game where we have the Mediterranean Quagseyes and the Boston Cyndaquils, who both picked up obviously new mons, and both are on the screen because the Mediterranean Quagseyes are rocking Clefable on their team. They're also rocking Magneton, Meloetta, Curum, Delmise, and Gliscopod, whereas the Boston Cyndaquils are rocking Kartana, Landorus Furion, Mega Gallade, Xerkictree, Incineroar, and Shaman. So both newbies are making their debut straight away into both the teams. Obviously, Clefable has got a good matchup in this team besides the Kartana. So if Kartana goes down, Clefable's got a great fantastic matchup because that's the only super effective thing you can touch it with. Not stab super effective things. I should touch it with. So I say if it's got Unaware, it doesn't. If he's obviously got double Intimidate, He's got potential Sword Dance setup with Mega Gallade. He's got Beast Boost Circuitry. He's got Rock Polish, Sword Dance, Landorus Furion. So Clefable's there to like stop setup pretty much on his team. Does actually double Intimidate, but Clefable's not really a physical attacker, so it doesn't really make a difference. Anyway, Magneton can potentially Magneton's not got the best matchup, is it? Unless it's a Magnet Pull HP Fire set for the Kartana, which it could possibly be, because I've run Magnezone like that for a Scizor before, and it did put in the work. So if he does that, it's a good play, good bring by Mediterranean Quagsire. He's got Meloetta, decent Mon. Kyurem, don't know how I feel about Kyurem. I know Kyurem Black's busted, but Kyurem's quite good as well. It's not as busted as Kyurem Black, but we racked up the kills so far in PIDA, if I do believe, near the top of the tier 3 MVP, I want to say. Delmise is just like bulk. It can obviously triple stab, gets rapid spin, it's obviously a rapid spin immunity, so because the only defaulter on for the Boston Cynicals is that Kartana, and then obviously Galissapod can be a problem. It's like a mixed bag. Sometimes, some games it does really well, some games it doesn't because of Magic Exit. So you can't really set up with Galissapod and then go down to 50% and you're going to get chucked out and you're like, okay, great. All that setup's for nothing. So we just have to go in, lunge, switch out, lunge, switch out, lunge, lunge, and all that shenanigans with that. So I'm leaning towards the Mediterranean Quagsire to win this game because obviously Clefable can just put in the work if Kartana's down. So if that Kartana goes down early, I feel like this could be leaning towards the Mediterranean Quagsire. So let's jump to the game and see how it goes. So he leads with Rihanna versus Incineroar. Obviously with Intimidate drop off, goes for Focus Miss. Does solid 50% to Meloetta as the Incineroar goes for Knockoff and reveals the Choice Scarf on the Meloetta. So Choice Scarf Meloetta could have put in the work later down the line. Obviously trying to outspeed probably, I don't know what's fast on his team, probably Kartana or Z Hypnosis Circuitry at +1. I think it would outspeed that. So that's probably why he brought that. So that's why we knocked off, knowing the next Focus Miss will kill the Incineroar. Switch out into his Shaman, who takes that out of the boss because Shaman's just like special wall. Goes for Leech Seed. As Shaman goes as Meloetta, so goes for Shadow Ball, gets a crit, does 28%. As Shaman sets up a Tailwind, as Rihanna goes for Dazzling Gleam, bringing him to switch out, but he just stays in and stacks off the Meloetta versus Tarantula. Out comes Tarantula to just come in, first impression. I said lunge, I meant first impression. So, first impression just comes in, just kills the Shaman, like, yeah, okay. Cool, Shaman's gone. Cool, Shaman's gone. Shaman's gone. Out comes the Circuitry as he switches out into his Magneton, putting a Thunderbolt. But he goes for the Z Hypnosis, which he does go for. Lands the Sleep Powder, and Circuitry's out +1/+1. Sets up the Tail Glow. And this looks like GG, but he goes out into his Delmise, and he goes for Tail Glow again, so it's a max special attack, +1 speed. Go to Hidden Power. Goodbye, Delmise. I'm thinking, right, okay. Circuitry can actually sweep here. But Kyurem lives the hit and goes for Earth Power, and down goes the... Now, this, I said in the beginning, I don't know how good Kyurem is. It's obviously good because it lived a +6 hidden power, I'm guessing ground or fire? Probably fire. Because, is Kyurem weak to ground? I don't think it is. No, it's not. It had to be HP fire, which was, it was neutral. If it was neutral, why do you go for hidden power fire? Because isn't Thunderbolt neutral as well? And that would have been stab. Wouldn't it have been? No. Yes. It had to be. I would have went for Thunderbolt. That would have killed. That would have killed. Thunderbolt would have killed if he had Thunderbolt, because they were both neutral hits. Thunderbolt had higher base power. It had stab as well. That would have killed this thing, and then it would have been... GG, Circuitry just wins the game. But unfortunately, he clicked Hidden Power and he didn't die. And gets killed with an Earth Power from a, obviously, either a bulky Kyurem or just had to be bulky. So he comes in, Drain Punch to get Revenge Kill on the Kyurem. So out comes the Clefable, which I said would put in the work. once this thing was gone. So he sets up some Calm Minds on his Clefable. So switches straight back out into Magneton, predicting the Smart Strike. So he switches out into his Landorus Furion, getting Intimidate drop off on the Magneton as it goes for Magnet Rise, which is, ooh, that's very interesting. Very interesting bring there. So there's a hidden power Ice, I would imagine, from the Kartana. I mean, on the Magneton, should I say, for the Landorus, so he can Magnet Rise up, live the Earthquake, because it can't be touched by an Earthquake because of Magnet Rise, and just goes for hidden power and just kills this thing. So Kartana goes for Sacred Sword. Obviously, this is an Evilite set because Magneton lived. Goes for hidden power again. Down goes the Kartana. Out goes Bengalade. He's going to go for Drain Punch, which it does. Gets a Revenge Kill on the Magneton. As out comes Clefable. As he switches out into his Landorus Furion, gets the Intimidate drop off on that. Clefable gets some Calm Minds up. As once said, Landorus sets some Sword Suns up. But if this is a Unaware set? Is it Unaware? Or was it Magic Guard? It had to be Magic Guard for a plus. Even if that was a neutral Earthquake, that would not have nearly killed a Clefable. I'm sorry, it wouldn't. If that was neutral, so that had to be. He had to be Magic Guard on his Clefable, which is very interesting. I thought it'd definitely be Unaware, but apparently not. So Gallade goes for Earthquake. Make Gallade go for Earthquake just to make sure it doesn't miss and kills this thing. So out comes Incineroar versus the Gallistopod, who's now at -1 attack. It gets a crit on the first impression, so that's very unfortunate. As the Mega Gallade goes for Bulk Up, Gallistopod goes for Leech Life, trying to do some residual damage on the Mega Gallade, and goes to Shadow Claw. I don't know why he wasn't. Oh, it's his last mon. I was going to say, why didn't he switch out? But it's the last mon. So Gallade's just setting up to Shadow Claw as this Galvantula's at -1 attack, but unfortunately a crit from the Shadow Claw wins the Mediterranean Quagsire the game. Now, obviously, it was at -1, so if it wasn't for the crit, Boston Tentacles would have won. But Shadow Claw is a high crit move, so you can't complain. It's high crit. So, in the scenario, it was a very close game because it came down to 16% on the Gallistopod. So, obviously, the MVP of that game was your boy Gallistopod because it got the crit on the Incineroar, it got the crit on the Shadow Claw, and it killed the Shaman. Obviously, for the Boston Tentacles, Mega Gallade was the MVP because once something died for the Boston Tentacles, it just come in, revenge kill it. It revenge killed the Magneton, it revenge killed the Curum, and it revenge killed the Meloetta. Was it the Meloetta? I think it was the Meloetta. Yeah, it was the Meloetta. Or was it the... I can't remember. I just watched the game and I can't remember. I'm sorry, I'm bad at this. I'm very bad at this. But anyway, that is game number 1. Medical Quagsires, I picked up that W. So they're climbing the table, trying to get out of the orange zone to survive in the yellow zone for season number 2. So we move on to game number 3, where we have Team Meme versus Team Meme number 2. We have the New Haven Nut, coached by Quinnipiac Quillfish, versus the Hungry Big Boys, coached by Hungry Bidoof, fellow UDL team member. So, obviously, the Quinnipiac Quillfish have brought the same team since week 5 or week 6. The exact same team, exact same sets, exact same everything. So, if you're playing TM, you more than likely know what he's going to bring and how to deal with that. So it's good. And he's basically mono levitate against an electric team. Because like the Dodrio and Gyarados don't appreciate electric types. And then Cloyster can deal with the Rotom Heat, and the Lattes with Ice Stab. So it's been a very interesting game indeed. Because obviously Quinnipiac Quillfish brought the same substitute every team, brings the same on every goddamn week. And the New Haven and Hungry Bidoof has brought the same mons, but it's like evolved in like different times. Because at the start it was just pure electric, and then it moved to pure electric plus Cloyster, and now it's pure electric plus Cloyster and plus Duran. So he's got Zapdos, Zeraora, Galvantula, and Mega Manectric this week. Zeraoras are going to be a great shout this week because obviously outspeeds all of his team unless he's a Choice Scarf Lati. I don't think he is a Choice Scarf Lati because I think both of them are stored power and everyone's a Mega. So that's going to be interesting. So Galvantula's a good bring because obviously triple Psychic is going to be very good. Just got to be worried about the Dodrio with the Galvantula. But besides that, I'm leaning towards electric type win because of the match on Just purely based on matchups in this game. I'm thinking that... so yeah. So Dojio's right here versus the Zeraora. As Zeraora just goes straight for a Thunderbolt. Goodbye Dojo. And I'm like, that's what we love. That is what we love in PIDA. Way back before I take my break, that's what we love in PIDA. Turn 1 Okos. It's just amazing. I love them. I don't know why I love them so much. I just love a turn 1 Oko. So Zeraora was obviously outspeeds Dojo every day of the week. Unless he can't have been Choice Scarf Dojo and Choice Scarf Zeraora. So I don't know why he stayed in with Dojo. I don't know. I don't understand. But unfortunately, he did. So out comes Arkali, the Rotom Heat. As he switches out into a Zapdos, putting an electric type move because it's neutral. As he goes to go to Light Screen, as he goes for Z Tailwind, gets the Focus Energy up and gets the Light Screen up. As Rotom goes for all of his screens, gets a Squid on the Wild Charge, which does not a lot. So Rotom Volt switches out into his Mega Latias. As it Mega Evolves, as the Zapdos U-turns out, straight into Galvantula. As it goes for Substitute. So now it's a Mega Latias behind both screens and a Substitute. As Galvantula goes for Leech Life, revealing a physical Galvantula. Very interesting. Tailwind's gone as the Mega Lati goes for Recover. Galvantula goes for Leech Life with the Reflect up. Still does about 30% to Mega Latias. So Mega Latias is setting up more Calm Minds as the Galvantula keeps going for Leech Life. It keeps going for Leech Life and whatnot. So reveals Life Orb. Sets up more Calm Minds on his Mega Latias as Galvantula goes for Screech, which is very, very interesting. Okay, Mega Latias now at -2 defense as Durant misses the Guillotine, which Oko, that's what P's all about. It's what P's all about. So Mega Latias is behind the sub at +3 Calm Mind with a -2 defense drop with a Substitute versus a Durant. So Bidoof switches out straight into his Mega Electric as Mega Latias goes to Recover. Intimidates Immune Cob because the sub goes for Ice Fang, breaks the sub. There's the stored power. Goodbye Mega Electric. So it's starting to get. There's the stored power. Sash from the Cloister. It lives as it goes for Shell Smash, which is ooh. So Cloister now definitely outspeeds. Goes for Ice Beam. Lives the hit because it's not a physical Cloister. It's a special Cloister, and because it's a +3 special defense, lives the hit even at +2. So yeah, very interesting play. Very interesting play there from the Hungry Bidoofs, bringing weird sets because obviously he's memeing. Pretty much memeing. There's a Guillotine. That's what we love. Guillotine. Guillotine's always come in threes. Come on. Oko's always come in threes. They always come in threes on this channel. But Gyarados is Dragon Dancing up versus the Zapdos as it goes for a Z Supersonic Sky Strike. Resisted hit, still kills the Zapdos and gets the Moxie Boost. And Gyarados is going to potentially just sweep the rest of the game. There's the Earthquake. Goodbye Zeraora. There's the Moxie Boost. Out comes Durant. Gets a Guillotine off. Must be a Choice Scarf Durant to outspeed a +1 Gyarados. So Choice Scarf Guillotine. Best plays. So Laios tricks the Durant. He reveals a Choice Scarf and gets a Choice Scarf. And it's a truant Durant. Not a Hustle. Because, I don't know. Why would he run Truant? I don't know. Why would run Truant? Because Truant is only used on terrible mons, like Slacking. And I have no idea. But out comes the Rotom Heat as he goes for Guillotine. Now he's loafing around. As he puts the Reflect up. There's a Guillotine again. Misses. And there's the Volt Switch from the Rotom Heat as he switches back to his Latias. He's loafing around this turn as he goes for double teams. And it's like, right, come on. Guillotine. It always comes in threes. It comes in threes. Durant is picking up the kills. There's the Truant turn. There's Reflect. It's already up. Switch out into his Latios. There's a Guillotine. Comes in fours. Durant gets 4 Oko kills. 4 Oko kills. It's ridiculous. Volt Switch. Why didn't he do that in the first place? I don't understand. But New Haven Nuts come away with a 1-0 victory versus the Hungry Big Boys. Now, Durant was like MVP of that game. For sure. For freaking sure. 4 Okos with Guillotine. It's madness. Always comes in threes. Except this time it came in fours. Because Durant is just... Durant is God. Durant is God. Durant is like top of tier 1. Near the top of tier 1 now. Best mon in tier 1. This is going to be an Ubers next. Durant for Ubers. But anyway, so yeah, obviously Mega Latios got with the Carmines up, pretty much won the New Haven Knights a game, because obviously Bidoof had some weird sets with Special Cloister, Physical Galvantula, Physical Zapdos. If they were the other way around, would have won the game, but memes are memes, aren't they? Memes are memes. Don't let your memes be memes. So yeah, that is game number 3 over and done with. Now we move on to game number 4, where we have the Victoria Victinis, coached by Devil, versus the New England Blizzards, coached by Vixen. Now, we have Weather versus Vixen. I was going to say he has a XYZ team, but it's just a regular team. It's not like a weather team or a meme team or whatever. It's just a normal team. Anyway, I'm rambling on. But Victoria Victinis have brought Rain and Sand. They have brought Kingdra, Pelly, my boy Seismitoad, Hippowdon, Excadrill, and Hitmonlee versus Zoroark, Diancie. Is it Mega Diancie? It is Mega Diancie. Volcanion, Milotic, Chansey, and Crocodile. So, looking at matchups, I've got Rain. Rain doesn't really work against Volcanion because A, it boosts his Steam Eruptions. B, it's got Water Absorb, and does get Grass Knot, I think. It gets a grass-type move. I know that for a fact because I had Volcanion in a few seasons ago in UCC, and it did put in the work for me. It did put in the work. It's a decent mon, but it's not like A tier mon. It's like B tier mon. So you don't really see it drafted that much because, like in tier 2, usually because it's a good mon, but no one ever drafts it because there's so much better stuff in tier 2. But it'd be broken in tier 3. So yeah, Volcanion's here, and then Milotic obviously is going to be Volky-Gal, and with just Rain and just Sand here, can potentially put in the work for the New England Blizzards. And then obviously Crocodile is here for Earthquakes and whatnot. Doesn't appreciate the Rain, but does it get a Sand? It gets a Anger Point, Intimidate, and Moxie. Yeah, it doesn't get a Sand boosting nature, because if he did, that would have been great. And obviously Diancie will get a special defensive boost with the Sandstorm up, so that's a good bring by the New England Blizzards there, because Mega Diancie with boosted special defense, mad, absolute mad. It's going to be fast. It's going to be speedy. It's going to be fast and speedy. Of course, it's going to be fast and speedy. It'll be fast, speedy, special attackery, and have some special defensive bulk behind it, which is very interesting. And obviously Zoroark is there, so he can hide as a Volcanion with his Zoroark and make sure they don't go for the water type move because they think it's a Volcanion, but it's actually a Zoroark, so they can hit it with. The Victoria Victinis will think, I can't hit this with my Surf on my Kingdra or my Scald on my Kingdra. I'm gonna click Dragon Pulse, and then it's gonna live the Dragon Pulse because it's not rain boosted or whatnot. And Zoroark's just gonna go hello and just click a button and potentially OHKO that mod. So that's that. Anyway, let's jump into this game and see how it goes. So Nigel needs versus Volcanion. As Volcanion goes for Hidden Power Electric and just OHKOs that Pelipper, turn 1. I'm thinking, turn 1 OHKO, love it, love it, love it. So Hidden Power Electric just goes, bye. Now your rain has died, but once it's gone forever. So that shuts down the Kingdra and the side so late game, which is very good, looking very good for the New England Blizzards here. So out comes a Seismitoad, who's obviously going to click Earth Power. Volcanion lives it because Volcanion is quite bulky. There's a Life Orb. There's the Steam Eruption. It's Swift Swim set, not a Water Absorb set. Now, it was a very risky play by the New England Blizzards, because if it was Water Absorb, that could have been very bad, because he could have just come in, got the Earth Power off, and right. You're going to think I'm Swift Swim, so I'm going to just bring Water Absorb this week. He did bring Swift Swim, and unfortunately, down goes Seismitoad, and it's looking a very downhill game here for the Victoria Victinis, but Excadrill comes in and gets revenge kill with the Earthquake. Out comes Milotic, as Excadrill goes for the Z Tectonic Rage, which does in fact echo the Milotic. So things are back on level playing field right now, with both being back at 4-4. So out comes the Hippo versus the Ant, super setting up that sand. There comes the Earth Power, doing bulky boy. Hippo lives on 1% and goes for slack off. And I'm thinking, right, this is why Hippowdon is doing the most right now in PIDA, doing all the kills, because it's obviously Gogumon. There's a Dark Pulse from the Chansey, and now you know for a fact that's the Zoroark. Because who runs Dark Pulse Life Orb Chansey? No one. No one. I say this now, and then someone's going to bring it to a free-for-all, and I'm going to be, oh my god. Why? Why? But anyway, that's obviously Zoroark, and he says in thinking, oh, it's a Chansey. I can live with anything this Chansey wants. So we're probably going to over Stealth Rocks or something. So I'm going to stay in and do the most. But it's actually Zoroark. And kills 2 Fake, and there goes the sand. So if he sorts out the sands, his team's not as scary anymore. But Chansey goes for Memento. Sax kills itself off to try to come in with Crocodile or Zoroark or something and just set up and just potentially do some work. But Hitmonlee is White Herb to put in the most. Obviously for Unburden boost, but the Unburden boost has been activated, and there's a knockoff versus the Chansey as he goes for knockoff again, knocks off the Eviolite as the Chansey goes for Toxic and poisons his Hitmonlee. And with it being Unburden boosted, and now there's the Curse set. There's the Curse White Herb set we saw last week. Chansey goes for Wish as it dies to the close combat, and Toxic damages racking up versus the Crocodile. Not Intimidate. Goes for Crunch. Oko's the Hitmonlee. Gets the Moxie boost. Out comes the Excadrill as it goes for Crunch. Obviously Choice Scarf or Choice Banded. There's the X-Scissor from Excadrill. Lives on 22%. There's Crunch again. Down goes Molester, and that's +2 Crocodile. And Poseidon lives on 7%, which is, I don't know if that was a roll. If that was a roll, let me know down in the comment section down below. As you can see by the chat anyway, it's a low roll to kill. So it was in the Victoria Vikini's favour to live in that +2 Crunch. What do you have left? He had this, Excadrill, and Hitmonlee. Why did he click Earthquake? Because wouldn't Earthquake have done more damage? Because none of his mons were super effective to Dark. And Earthquake would have been, I don't know. Earthquake's higher base move, also stab, and would hit him all in a neutral, as did Crunch did. So, I don't know. Unless he didn't have Earthquake, which I'm very shocked if he didn't have Earthquake. But I would have clicked Earthquake in that scenario. But that's just me. That's just me. I'm hoping if you're watching this, you'll let me know why you didn't click Earthquake, or that if you had Earthquake or anything. Let me know down in the comment section down below, and we can have a chitter chatter about it. But anyway, very close game indeed. Victoria Vikings are putting on the pressure for those playoff spots at the top of the table. Where New England Blizzards are slowly being dragged into this relegation playoff. Well, they're in there anyway. I missed ages ago. I can't remember. We'll look at the end of the episode. But 3 very close games so far this week. We've had obviously 3 1-0s so far, all coming down to barely, 2 of them at least coming down to just in the red zone, surviving mons for the games. So we move on to game number 5, where we have the Black City Curums versus the Wellington Ho-Oh, which are 2 coaches battling up at the top of the table, both in the green zone. This is a game that could potentially happen in the playoffs, and we can have a looky-loo and see who's going to come out on top in this game and pick up one of these. So, obviously, the Black City Curums got some trades that started this week with Magearna and Raikou. And on their team, they have Magearna and Raikou. So putting them straight into the team, saying, right, signed you up. You're in the first team. You're in the first 6 for this week. You're in my lineup this week. hopefully make the trades worth it and put in the most finest of work this week. So he's also brought Gliscor, Kyurem Black, Tornadus, and Mega Medicham. Mega Medicham being the MVP of PIDA so far in both divisions. And if you can probably tell by the thumbnail, it's not MVP this week. But I think so far, I don't know why I'm talking about MVP right now, because we haven't seen the MVP yet. Spoiler alert, we haven't seen the MVP yet. But so far, every single week so far, the MVP of that week has not been the same one. Not been any duplications whatsoever. So hopefully we can keep that up until the end of the season, because that would be absolutely amazing. But I don't think we will, watching the other games back. That's another spoiler. In the upcoming PIDA weekly shows, there may be a duplicate MVP. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, the Wednesday Heroes have brought Megazard X, Rotom Wash, Celesteela, Celebi, Donphan, Tyranitar. Now, Megazard X can put in the most finest work in this team, because obviously Fire for the beginner, Dragon for the Kyurem Black. I was going to say Kyurem White, but it's not. It's Kyurem Black. And obviously Gliscor is going to be a problem for us, as is Mega Medicham. Can make a patch a problem for everything. And probably the Wellington Heroes' best option for Mega Medicham is probably to sell a Stealer, if I'm being totally honest, because, or Celebi, but I don't think, does Mega Medicham get U-turn or something? I don't think it does. I don't think it gets a bug type move, so maybe Celebi as well, but it'll be a very hype game, because obviously it's a top of the table clash. Big Super Sunday game. If you're British, you'll get that reference. But let's jump to the game and see how it goes. So Wellington Heroes lead with Tornadus versus Rotom Wash, who U-turns out on his Rotom, straight into his Gliscor, as he goes to Will-O-Wisp and burns the Gliscor before he can get a Toxic Orb off, which is very, very good. Very, very good play, because Gliscor now doesn't get Toxic Kill, and he's got Roman February on his team, which I don't think he has by looking at his team. Gliscor's burnt. He can't Earthquake the Charizard X as super effectively as he wanted to be, and shuts down the Gliscor. It doesn't shut down, it pretty much shuts down the Gliscor unless it's got rocks. It's the only thing Gliscor can do now. So that's very unfortunate, but it's a good play there by the Wellington Heroes, as he switches out straight back into Kyurem Black, and he switches out into a Celesteela, as Kyurem Black goes for a Z Gigavolt Havoc, Z Fusion Bolt, and Celesteela lives and goes for Leech Seed. So he's going to protect this turn, probably, as the Black Sea Kyurem goes straight into his Raikou, as he goes to protect again to see what Raikou wants to go for, as he reveals the Volt Switch. I'd imagine he'd go out into Donphan this turn. No, or Celebi. That works as well. So his Volt Switches out, does 10%, 11% to Celebi. Out comes the Tornadus versus the Celebi. Out comes Celesteela, as it goes for U-turn, switches out straight into, I'm guessing, Raikou again. Yes, there's the Raikou. I'm calling these plays. And, so yeah, goes for Protect to stall out, see what he wants to go for. Goes for hidden, reveals Hidden Power, which I'm guessing is Hidden Power Ice, I want to say. So out comes Rotom. He goes for Thunderbolt, it's neutral. Does solid 32% on his bulky Rotom. So 29% Volt Switch out, straight to his Tornadus Furion, as he goes for Pain Split. And I'm thinking, right, why would you go out into Tornadus versus the Rotom Wash? You obviously knew he wouldn't go for an electric type move because Raikou has Volt Absorb, but what are you going to do back? Unless you've got Grass Knot or something. Even Grass Knot, Rotom Wash doesn't weigh anything, so it doesn't do anything. So what are you going to do? Straight, just, okay, you're just going to U-turn out again. I see you. As he Volts, it's good. This is why I'm in Johto, you see. I don't get these plays. I don't. There's the Stealth Rocks I called on Gliscor. This is why I should be in Kanto, but not going to happen. So, they revealed U-turns for days on the Black Sea Kyurem's team this week. Out comes a Raikou. Leaves Heal again. Healing back up again. And straight into Mega Medicham as it goes for Protect. And this is the biggest test for Mega Medicham this week versus the Celesteela. Goes for Substitute. And I'm thinking, right, there's a high jump kick. There's the Air Slash. Breaks the sub. Obviously going to go for Protect this turn. Or, that's a good play by the Mega Medichams. The Black Sea Kyurems, because Obviously, he had what? Sub, high jump kick, drain punch, and move 4. So he had high jump kick because it did the most damage, and he knew that Celesteela was a thing, and he likes to use protect on it. And high jump kick versus Celesteela, and he goes for protect. He's going to do a lot of damage. Just kill, just do 50% to Mega Man Cham. It's like shut down, low health. What are you going to do about it? So brought drain punch instead to click it. If he thinks he's going to go for protect and not sure, he's 50-50 if he's going to go for protect. You click drain punch because A, if you miss, you miss. You're not going to take any recoil, and B, it should do enough to do some decent amount of damage to Celesteela. So I think is this my first round of applause this game? No, it's not. It's my second. Durant just carried. But anyway, out comes the Celebi versus the Mega Medicham. And he switched out straight into his Tornado Spherion. There's Elite Seed. Missed, unfortunately, for this Celebi. I switched out into Rotom Wash. As he U-turns out again, gets a critical hit, does fail % to Rotom Wash. Out comes Raikou, who can just potentially just Thunderbolt and just kill this thing. But out comes Donphan versus the Raikou as he goes Thunderbolt. Pretty that. And lives. Out comes Q and Black versus the Donphan, predicting an Earthquake, I'd imagine. But goes for Stealth Rocks anyway, goes for Rotom Wash. Switches out, sacks that thing off to an Ice Beam. Down goes Rotom Wash, and that's a tasty kill for Q and Black there. Out comes Tyranitar as Q and Black goes for Dragon Claw. As Tyranitar goes for a D-Dance. So now probably outspeeds the Q and Black as it goes for Z Black Hole Eclipse versus the Q and Black. And down goes Q and Black. There's the Z Dart. There's the Roost on Batman as he goes for Avalanche. So predicting it to hit with like a U-turn or something to double the damage of Avalanche. But there's a Dragon Dance as he gets the Earthquake. Gets a critical hit, which ignores the bird. Down goes Tyranitar, which is a very, very unlucky thing there because obviously A, potential speed tie, as you can see in the chat. B, if it didn't crit, it wouldn't have killed because it was burnt. And C, no, Batman. Anyway, out comes double D's. There's a Dragon Claw. Batman lives as he goes for U-turn. And he goes straight out into his Raikou versus the Megazard X. There's the pressure building. There's the Thunder Wave to paralyze his double D. There's the full power, turn 1. Very unfortunate. There's the Volt Switch. Goes straight into his Gliscor to sack this thing off. As it goes for Flame Charge. So now it's paralyzed at +1 speed. If it was +1 speed, if it wasn't paralyzed, this thing could have potentially swept the team. But Medicham now outspeeds it even at +1. Goes for Drain Punch, knocks this thing out. Out comes the Celebi, who switches back into his beginner, which we haven't really seen so far in this game. Missed Elite Seed again. Very unlucky there from the Wenten Ho-Ohs right there. As it goes for Earth Power, McGinnis takes it out for days. Lives, feels the weakness policy, and it goes for Shift Gear, so it's out +3 speed, +2 speed, +2 attack, -1 special defense. There's the Iron Head. There's the flinch. That's the flinch we all like to see with Iron Heads. There's an Iron Head again. Kills it this time, gets a Soul Heart boost. Out comes the Donphan. There's the Fleur Cannon. And down goes the Donphan. So that is a GG to the Black Sea Curums there. Picking up a 4-0 victory. Mainly helped by McGinnis. Mainly helped by Mega Medicham. And everything else on his team. Excellent. Because everything on the Black Sea Curums team this week either didn't die or pick up a kill. Because the 2 mons that died both picked up kills. So looking good for the Black Sea Curums there, pushing on to claim that first place spot and playing 4th place in the playoffs instead of playing someone moving or finishing in 2nd and playing 3rd place, obviously. So in an ideal situation, 1st is where you want to be. Even though at the start of the video I said 1st is not the place you want to be. Doesn't really matter, but technically it does because you're playing 4th place. So in hindsight, you're playing a weaker opponent. But you're not, because everyone in top 4, like I said before, is an amazing battler. So, yeah, GG to the Black Sea Curums there. Wenten Ho-Ohs got very unlucky in that game with powers, with speed ties, with misses and whatnot, and crits. So, if they end up playing in the playoffs, they can learn from this game. They can go back and watch this video. Please watch this video. Watch it back again just to see this game. Prepping for your playoff games. Watch it back. Watch it back. And yeah, Move on to game number 6, which is the Boston Typhlosions versus Ottawa Garchomps. And the Boston Typhlosions are rocking, I don't know why I'm doing this accent, but Tapu Koko, Toxapex, Nihilego, Tangrowth, Hawlucha, and Starmie. Whereas the Ottawa Garchomps are rocking Azelf, Megalopene, Arcanine, Rhyperior, Heliolisk, and Skarmory. Now, Boston Typhlosions coached by David here. Why is that accent? Right. Okay. The Boston Typhlosions coached by David are pushing up. Both these teams are like climbing up, trying to push for those green spots, hoping that the top start slipping up so they can drop down and just overtake. That's what they're doing. So, obviously, Toxapex, Tangrowth, Core, disgusting, double regenerator, both bulky as hell, both can just sit there and go, I can eat any hit you want, If you're gonna go for a physical hit, I've got a Tango. If you want to go for a special hit, I've got a Toxapex. We have Regenerator, so we're not going to die. And then he's got obviously Hawlucha. He's got Coco Lucha, which is ridiculous because we have Feeny Lucha in a UCC. Puts in the work. Obviously got Starmie as well, so you can get rid of the hazards. So he can allow the Regenerator monster to do more work. And he's got Nihilego, which if you can slap a Choice Scarf on it, or some choice specs, just a choice scarf on it, and you can spam Earthquake, or not Earthquake, Earth Power, or Rocks, or Power Gem, or Sludge Wave, and GG. So I'm liking Boston Typhlosion team a lot more than the. I'm not saying I don't like that team because it's obviously got Megalopony, which is a fantastic mon. Arcanine can be a bulky boy and will really help against the Tangrowth. He's got Rhyperior for the likes of the Nihilego. He's got Heliolisk for the Toxapex. He's got Skarmory to just be a Skarmory and just sit there and go, haha, I'm immune to your Sludge Waves. Haha, I'm defensively bulky. Haha, I've got Stealth Rocks. Haha, I've got Spikes. Haha, you want to set up Spikes for your Nihilego? I've got Defog. Haha. Yeah, and he's got Lead Azelf, which is probably going to set up Rocks and go boom. That's what usually Azelfs do. But let's jump into this game and see how this one pans out. So out comes the Heliolisk versus the Tapu Koko. As Tapu Koko goes for Volt Switch in the Electric Terrain boosted, switches out straight into his Nihilego. As the Heliolisk Volt switches out and goes straight into his Azelf. As there's a Zen Headbutt and down goes Nihilego. And yeah, on the turn 1, it was a turn 2 knockout. But Alkaline comes in versus the Tangrowth, bringing Giga Drain, does not a lot of damage. So out comes Heliolisk in Electric Terrain as Tangrowth goes for Toxic. So it gets a Toxic timer up on this Heliolisk. As it mainly going to Volt Switch out, so Toxic's not really an issue for that thing. But it's now at -2 attack and even gets a crit, which is like, you know, just that's luck of Pokemon, isn't it? Out comes the Toxapex as the Arcanine Morning Sun's back up. Out comes Azelf versus Toxapex as it goes for knockoff, knocking off these Azelfs. Nothing, so I'm guessing it's a Z move. There's the Power Up Punch as it starts setting up its Toxic Spikes. So imagine it's going to go for a Zen Headbutt this turn. It does. Gets a crit with Zen Headbutt. There's the Rocky Helmet Recoil. Out comes Starmie taking another Zen Headbutt. As it goes for the Z, Shattered Psyche. Starmie lives on 10%. Out comes Heliolisk. He goes for Scald, which is Dry Skin, which is a very good bring because you can just, you know, absorb those hits. So there's the Volt Switch again. So he gets another crit. Crits for days on this battle. Crits for days. Out comes Skarms. Out comes the Koko. As he's going to defog away. No, he's going to put his own Rocks up with Skarmory. There's the Grass, not putting him to switch out, which he doesn't. There's the Roost. Out comes Heliolisk this turn as it goes for a Z Gigavolt Havoc. Goodbye Heliolisk, because that's a Z boosted by Electric Terrain, and you're gone. Out comes Megalopony, who is now poisoned. Out comes the Starmie to sack this thing off as it goes for the return. Fails, unfortunately, but out comes Hawlucha now. Gets an Unburden boost because of the Electric Seed. And out comes Skarmory. Goes for Swords Dance, and this is... There's the Taunt, so it can't go for Whirlwind. And there's a forfeit. There is a forfeit, because I don't know why forfeits. Why don't you just finish the game? Because he could miss. He could misclick. He could do anything. Anything could happen. There's still a chance that you don't know. If he's got Taunt and Swords Dance, he's only got what? A fighting type move and possibly acrobatics. He could miss a high jump kick. High jump kicks can be missed. I've lost a UCC game because of a high jump kick miss. You don't know. Why? This really annoys me when people... It really does. It really annoys me when people forfeit during a game. When there's no... It really annoys me. It really does. It just does. I hate it. I hate it when people rage quit in a Pokemon game. When I play games, Pokemon, and I know I've lost. I was like, right, there's no point in me winning. There's no point in me trying. I just go, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I stick through it because sometimes one day in that blue moon, I'm going to go, right, I've lost. There's no point in me continuing. I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. And then something happens and I win the game. I pick up one of these and I'm like, yes. Yes, yes, yes. The comeback of dreams is on. That feeling when you're down and out, you think, no, I can't win this game. And then something happens, like he misses his high jump kick, you kill this thing, and then get a chance to set up with your Megalopony. And you win the game. And then you just win the game. You just win the game. But you can't do that if you rage quit, think, right, it's game over, right. I can't whirlwind you out with Skarmory. You're +2, you're +2 speed. What am I supposed to do? So that really annoys me. But GG to the Boston Cyndaquils, Typhlosions. So Holucha picks up all 5 kills from that game because he rage quit. So the Mon out gets all the kills for the rest of the team. So if he was out with like Toxapex, he just rage quit. Toxapex would have got 5 kills. That's how it works. That's how it works. That's how forfeits work. So GG to both teams. Please, I hate forfeit. I can't emphasize enough how much I hate people who forfeit during a game. I really don't. It really annoys me. But anyway, moving on from that, we go to game number 7, where we have the Sinnoh Starlets, coached by Blind Messiah Sean, versus the Honolulu Holuchas, coached by Carl. And the Sinnoh Starlets are rocking Araquanid, Nidoking, Hooper Unbound, Mega Gardevoir, Volcarona, and Mimikyu, whereas the Honolulu Holuchas are rocking Staraptor, Dragonite, Mega Aggron, Garchomp, Ash Greninja, and Beware. So, looking at matchups, double Fairy for Sean, and his only Fairy resist on his team is Mega Aggron, because Garchomp is weak to Fairy, Ash Greninja is weak to Fairy, Dragonite is weak to Fairy, Beware is weak to Fairy. Staraptor's not a bulky boy, so it doesn't appreciate a Hyper Voice from Mega Gardevoir. So, if Mega Aggron goes down, and Stealth Rocks are up to break Dragonite's multiscale, it is game over. That's all I'm saying. It is game over. Because a Hyper Voice can just blow away this team if Mega Aggron is gone. And Dragonite does not have his multiscale. And it's even more over if webs are up. Because then Mega Gardevoir will outspeed his entire team. And that's just GG. Because Araquanid can just set up sticky webs and outspeed his entire team of Mega Gardevoir, barring his 2 Burbs. But Dragonite is like, what, base 100? Or base not, or something like that. So Mega Gardevoir is about that. So it's either going to be a speed tie or you can just outspeed it. And Staraptor could be an issue. But Mega Gardevoir's got the potential to sweep here easily. Hands down easily. So let's jump into the game and see how it goes. So out comes Araquanid versus Staraptor. So Sean trying to get his webs up turn 1, but he switched out to his Mimikyu as the Staraptor U-turn straight out, breaking the disguise of Mimikyu on turn 1 as it holds up its red card. As he goes down to his Mega Aggron, he goes for Heavy Slam and does nothing to this Araquanid. Misses the Rock Slide, which is very unfortunate because this Araquanid would have been dead. Well, not dead, but it revealed the berry, so it made no difference. But This made a difference though, because it took that chip damage from liquidation unnecessarily. So out comes Staraptor versus Nina King, gets Intimidate drop off on that. As he goes for Ice Beam, and goodbye Staraptor. Out comes Dragonite. Ice Beam. Lives because of multi-scale. Goes for Dragon Dance. And goes straight into his Araquanid. He goes for EQ. Goodbye Araquanid. Comes down to Mimikyu. Goes for Shadow Sneak and kills them on. It's a very good play because sacked off Mimikyu. Not Mimikyu, Araquanid. Because his webs are up. Main reason for bringing Araquanid. New Dragonite lived on like that much percent because of multi-scale. Switches out, sacks off his Araquanid because he doesn't need it anymore because webs are up. And goes out into his Mimikyu, who has priority. And can just kill it with Shadow Sneak. And he can't switch out and switch back in again because he's at low health. It's not set up. He's pretty much dead if he switches out again. So just stays in and sacks that thing off. So he gets a free switch into his Beware, who's now at -1 speed because of Fluffy. Takes that play rough very nicely as he goes for Rock Slide. So he switches out straight to Mega Aggron, thinking another play rough, which he does not go for. He goes for Destiny Bond, which allows him to click a Shadow Sneak as he goes for Heavy Slam. Now, I'm intrigued. Why did he go for Heavy Slam, knowing that he goes for he goes for Destiny Bond because he knows he goes for Heavy Slam because he knows at -1 you are not. I'm not going to outspeed you. It's impossible for me to outspeed you. So he's just going to click Heavy Slam because you know it's just going to kill it. So Mimikyu goes down. Out comes Volcarona versus the Mega Aggron. As he goes for the Fiery Dance, kills this thing, gets a +1 special attack, and yeah, Garchomp comes out, -1 speed. There's the Bug Buzz. Lives on 27% as he goes for Poison Jab. Lives on 4%. Builds a Life Orb, goes for Fiery Dance, kills the Garchomp, and Volcarona is going to potentially sweep the rest of the game. Goes to Fire Dance, gets super effective because of Fluffy, gets a +2 special attack boost. Out comes Greninja, goes for Bug Buzz and knocks this thing out. And that is a GG to Volcarona. The bugs came through, the webs came through from Araquanid. The sweep at the end from Volcarona came in clutch, and then Mimikyu, the sad loaded Mimikyu, getting that kill on that Dragonite. Because if he didn't have that priority, things could have been different. I think Blibestar probably would have already still won, but I don't think it would have been 4-0 if that Mimikyu did not have Shadow Sneak. So GG to Sean, pushing Zombie all the way to this championship. Obviously, they play week 14, I think. I think it's week 14, yeah. That's going to be a very good game when that happens in week 14. So, looking forward to that. Obviously that game's already been played, but you guys haven't seen it. So, we probably have. If you're the server, you've probably seen it. So, ow! Anyway, last game. We have the Power Squad this week, coached by the Messiah himself, Nico, versus the Sugar Puff City Swirlixers, coached by Skef. And the Power Squad are rocking Mega Slowbro, Scolipede, Manaphy, Umbreon, Snorlax, and Vivian. Whereas the Sugar Puff City Swirlixers are rocking Salamence, Alolan Muck, Rabombi, Entei, Palisand, and Primarina. Now, Power Squad, same trick. Sets up as much as they can. Vivian puts everything to sleep. And then allows Scolipede to set up some speed boosts. Then Baton passes out into Umbreon, who goes for a Z-Celebrate. And then Baton passes out into either Mega Slowbro, because it's got Battle Armor, so it can't be critted. And it's a ridiculously high defenses and speed. Or it goes down to Snorlax and just recycles that way. Or it goes down to Manaphy and allows it to get a Tail Glow up and get it to max attack and just click Scold and Ice Beam and just win the game. That is Power Squad's plan for every single game they've had this season. Every single one, that's their plan. So you just need to stop that and you've won the game. Just get that Vivian out of the way before it puts your whole team asleep. And then just bring ways to stop Baton Pass setup. I mean, it sounds easy on paper, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens in this game. So, let's jump into this game as Vente versus the Scolipede, who's probably going to go Protect turn 1, which is obvious, because the Scolipede, as he goes for Sacred Fire, lives to Protect, goes to +1 speed. So, it's a good possibility to switch out straight into his Palisand as it goes out into his Vivian. As it switches down to Muck, there's the Sleep Powder. As at +1 speed, gets some Quiver Dances up on his Vivian. Sleep again. Goes for Quiver Dance again. Muck is still asleep. Goes to Hurricane. Does 55% to Muck as it wakes up and goes for the knockoff and knocks off this leftovers. Reveals to Shadow Sneak, down goes Vivian. So, as like I said in the start of the game, get Vivian out early, you've got a chance to win this game. Man, my hair looks ginger in that webcam. Man, it looks ginger. Anyway, doesn't matter. It looks red. Is that just me? Does my hair look red right now? It looks super ginger. That is ginge. That is literal ginge. If you don't tell me that's not ginge. That looks so ginger. What has got... Why is that so ginger? Anyway, I got so distracted. I look so ginger right now. Anyway, I just look so ginger. Anyway, why did I... Oh my god. 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 I've never seen my hair sit there. Enough about my goddamn hair. Right. Vivian's gone, so he can't be sleep powdered shenanigans in this game anymore. So out comes Dumbreon. He goes for Z Celebrate, because every evolution in this league goes for Z Celebrate. And it's now set up. There's the Poison Jab from the Muck as he goes down to his Rabombi. As he can pass out into his Scolipede versus this thing. Out comes Palisand versus the Scolipede as he goes for Poison Jab. Does nothing to this Palisand, because Palisand's a bulky boy. Speed boosters are coming up as he goes for Protect. There's the Earth Power. And Palisand is slowly healing itself back up with Scolipede. Scolipede is setting up even more with although set goes for Giga Drain, which is very interesting play. Maybe he's thinking he's going to go out to his Vampire into his Slowbro or his Manaphy. There's the Earth Power. Does 42% to this Scolipede, who's now plus pretty much max speed, +5 attack, +1 defense, +1 special defense, +1 special attack. There's the Vampire straight into his Snorlax. Now, Snorlax is a specially talented monster, and it's now max speed. It's now at max attack. There's a Zen Headbutt. And yeah, you can just spam Earthquake and just sweep. It's going to sweep because it's Body Slam. You can knock the Salamence out. That's 2 kills for Snorlax. Bombi. That's 3 kills for Snorlax. There's Entei. Good extreme speed. Yes. Call it. Earthquake. It's 4 kills for Snorlax. Out comes Primarina. Body Slam. That's 5 kills for Primarina. For Snorlax. Out comes Palisand. Let's go for Earthquake. That's 6 kills for Snorlax. And this is why I appreciate. Because like in the game a few games ago, Rage quit because Polyjuice could sweep. Snorlax did exactly the same thing in this game, and then Rage quit, which I respect right up here. Even though I'm now ginger, Fat Joe came through. Even though Fat Joe is a girl, a female, it's 2019. Did I just assume it's gender? I did, because it says on the goddamn screen it's female. It's female. You can't... It's female. Look, it's female. I'm tricking so much people. It's female. So yeah, that is why Snorlax is MVP. Got 6-0 sweep because of setup. And I'm honestly surprised that no other team besides Power Squad are doing this trick. Honestly, because it only works 50% of the time. Because if it worked all the time, they'd be rocking up high atop the table. But it's not. Because if you play someone who has very good league experience, knows about Baton Pass, because I know most leagues ban this kind of setup, but mono speed setup and mono like in UCC, this is not banned. It's not banned in UCC. It's not. The only thing banned in UCC that's not banned in this is evasion, OCO moves, and sleep clause. That's it. So, if it works like that, why don't in other leagues do teams do this? Because it doesn't work all the time. Because you need luck in your side to A, not get critted, B, get the chance to set up, because most times you can't have the chance to set up, but in PIDA you've got like sleep clause and whatnot, so you can put everything to sleep, just set up when they're asleep and just do that way. There's ways around that, but hopefully next season when things are going to be a bit different, well, I'll go into that in the last PIDA video of season 1. I'll explain the changes at the end of that video about season 2, because I think the last video is going to be like 1 game, probably 2 games. Maybe just 1 game actually, because it'll just be the playoffs final. So I'll do the playoff final and I'll explain all the season 2 rule changes and what's going to happen in season 2, and we'll go from there. So yeah, before we end this video, we just hit the hour mark, so good news. This is the table. What the table is currently looking like in Kanto after week number 11. So in the first place, we have the Black Sea QM still rocking, holding on to that top spot with 30 points and 24 differential. We move on to the Sinnoh Starlets in second place with 27 points, 29 differential. So when they play week 14, it's going to be very close if they're still 3 points behind each other. Because if the Blind Messiah win that game, they will go ahead of the Black Sea QMs because of differential, and they'll be on the same points and will go ahead because of differential. So I'm so looking forward to that game when that plays. And then in third and fourth place, joint with 24 points, are the Pyro Pidgeots versus the Weds and Ho-Ohs. Both those teams are pushing. Obviously, they're 6 points off first place, but as long as you're in the green, you've got a chance of winning. And then obviously the Victoria Victinians are just 3 points outside of the playoffs. So I think the Victoria Victinians have still got to play Weds Ho-Ohs and Pyro Pidgeots. I know they've got to play at least one of them again, so that again is going to be very crucial. And if JJ or Starving Pig slip up at all, Devil's got the chance to pounce on that and get into those playoff spots. It really has. And then we've got Bottom Typhlosions, Power Squad, Ultimate Garchomps, and the Sydney Shamans all on. No, we don't. We've got Bottom Typhlosions, Power Squad, and Ultimate Garchomps all on 18 points. So they have an outside chance of playoffs. They're 6 points off it right now, but anything could happen. If Pyro Pidgeots, Wellington Ho-Oh, and Victoria Victinians all lose next week, and those three will win, then it's going to be very close. It really is going to be very close, obviously. And then we've got City Shamans, Sugar Puff City Squares, both on 15 points. Just above the relegation scrap, but next week they could be in it, depending on how results go. And then we've got the Boston Cyndaquils who are rocking that final safe position in the yellow zone, with the likes of New England Blizzards and Hollywood Launchers just outside with 12 points. So it's going to be very close to the bottom table. And then obviously, because of that meme team win for the New Haven Nuts, the Hungry Big Boys, the Mediterranean Quag's Eyes, and the New Haven Nuts are all on 6 points. And because of differential, New Haven Nuts are last. But if things start to go well, they could potentially have a new team in the red zone. We could potentially have a new team in the red zone for next week. So that is our Kanto Weekly 11 update show. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to smash that like button down below. Be subscribed if you're not already. Leave comments about any changes you want to make to the series. If you're one of the coaches, let me know about any sets and whatnot. So if I said something that you didn't agree with, let me know down in the comment section down below. Constructive criticism really helps me improve my work on the channel for you guys as well. So any feedback would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.